All right, we are here. We are back on the vlog. I am Molly Holmes, the director of the Gender and Sexuality Resource Center. She, her are my pronouns. We are here with our final vlog of the semester. I think it's vlog 10. So we're a very special vlog because our entire staff team is here with you today. You've seen us individually in different spaces, etc., but we are all bringing it together for this special vlog of pulling the year together of this virtual time and space. So we have something very special planned for you as we wrap up our semester and our year with you. And with that, we'll turn it over to Trevin to tell you what we're going to be doing today.
Hi. I guess I can introduce myself here now. Hi, my name is Trevin. I use he, him, his pronouns. I'm the student staff assistant here at the Gender and Sexuality Resource Center, and I'm currently in our conference room where we wouldn't be having this meeting if COVID wasn't so special. So what we're doing today is answering some wrap-up questions and getting a feel for what this semester has brought us and what the year has brought us and things like that. And we have 5 questions. And so that this vlog isn't like 7 hours long, I randomly assigned each of us a question. It's 5 of us, 5 questions. That seems like that'll work out. And then later people get to answer another question that they didn't get assigned. So the order today is Ari, me, Demetria, Elizabeth, and then Molly. So I guess I can go ahead and ask the first question to Ari. What is something that you learned at the GSRC that was impactful this semester?
Yes. So before I answer, Ari, I share her pronouns in case you have not caught me on the other vlogs. Something impactful that I learned at the GSRC this semester. This is a really hard question because I always learn a lot here. I love it here. It's a great place to be. There's always education happening. But I would say during ally training, which was really fun to be able to co-facilitate with Molly in Speakers Bureau, the pandemic kind of put a pause on that. So it was fun to get back in ally training. So I'll say something that I learned that was impactful was just really hearing about some of the experiences of the Speakers Bureau members. And I'm not going to share something specific because, it's exclusive ally training stuff. You got to sign up, go to the training to receive the premium content. But it's just always really great to hear about the experiences of like students who are LGBTQ plus at NIU. Me being like a straight person, like I have that privilege where I don't have to think about some of these things. And so I always feel grateful for the Speakers Bureau for like being vulnerable and sharing their experiences because they don't have to. And I recognize that's a lot of labor. And so I've learned a lot and it's been very impactful just getting the opportunity to hear some of their stories this year.
Yes, we all love ally training, and Speakers Bureau is always like one of my favorite things to do. So that's good to hear. I guess it's my turn now, and the next question is, how did I show up for myself this semester? I think this is always a great question for me because I always have 30 million things going on. So I actually sometimes that answer is like, oh, forgot to do that. But this semester, I actually did say no a lot to a lot of engagements. I like, I didn't. I usually try to say yes to everything just because I feel like I'm doing something worthwhile if I'm saying yes. I'm putting in the input, I'm making the impact, so I have to say yes. But after a pretty like heavy Black Heritage Month, I was like, how about we just slow down for the rest of the semester? I did Tea with Trevins, I did Pride Mags, I helped with Soulful Fridays. I was like supporting all the things, doing all the things. So I felt like, let's just start saying no to things. So that's how I showed up for myself, by saying no. All right. So the next question is for you, Demetria. What were you most proud of about your work at the GSRC this semester?
So before I answer, I'm gonna introduce myself again for those who don't know me. My name is Demetria Edwards. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a graduate research assistant here at the GSRC. And I would say, I have to think about this question, but most proud of about my work. I would say I felt like it was impactful. And I think for me, I've always like wanted to create change or change the world some way, somehow. And it always just felt like this big task. But working at the GSRC, I realized that like the things and efforts that we do make a difference. Like even if 7 people show up, that's 7 people who got something out of this experience. So with any programming that I've done, Womenist Wednesday, like just having people comment and respond to questions. And I've even gotten emails from students this semester, which was really nice about Womenist Wednesday, like how much they enjoyed it or programs that they love. So it's like just having that impact, even if it changes one person's life, even if I get to educate one person today, like that is creating change and making a difference. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've always really liked Women's Wednesdays. And I can't like really compare it to when you weren't doing it, but it's been like amazing this entire time. And when we had to move it on to like Instagram, I was excited because that meant I didn't have to like run across campus before class. So I think Wednesdays really did well on Instagram and just in general while you were here. Oh my goodness.
If I can add,
Um,
Dimitri
huh?
did a great job of transforming it for us because, like, that was a big task. I mean, that's something I'm proud of about you, Demetria, because, like, you really just took it and ran with it. Instagram, I'm still learning how it works. As you all know, like, I go to you all frequently to figure out, how things work. And, like, Demetria, really, you did a great job, like, just transforming the program alone into virtual setting, like, is also something to be proud of. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
All right. Moving up to, well, you're up on my screen, but it's probably sideways for everybody else. Moving up to Elizabeth. What was your biggest accomplishment this semester?
Sure, I'm just going to start off by again introducing myself. My name is Elizabeth Guderte. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I work at the GSRC as a grad research assistant. I just want to say, like, I can feel the love through Zoom with all of your guys' responses, and I agree with everything that you guys have already said thus far. So I'm just going to say yes for that. But yeah, my biggest accomplishment, like that's salient, I think would be the NIU Progress Pride flags that we had at the Student Home Center for a week. And then I also love that we're going to be doing that for the following years as something that's going to be, continually happening at NIU. I think that it really shows that, like, when Speakers Bureau and I come together to have like an idea that with that creativity and that force, like we can make something like that happen. And for me, I just feel like that's a legacy and that's something that like right time, right people, right place to make happen. And so I'm really proud of that. But when I was like thinking about this question, I realized that I'm most proud of not just that accomplishment, but overall the growth that I've had as a person in my professional life and in my personal life working at the GSRC. And so I think that Ari, you mentioned it a little bit, but like having straight privilege and sometimes when people advocate for things that happen in their own community, me personally, I feel like to truly be an advocate, you have to show up for everybody. And you really have to do your best to kind of educate yourself, uplift voices from people in that community if they have things to say. And so I feel like Speakers Bureau really emphasizes and embodies that, is like uplifting student voices and really amplifying that. So I'm most proud of the flags, but also just like the growth that's been happening throughout this entire year. And then just building relationships with you all and then collabing with other centers. So it's really amazing.
Yes, I love that because this is your first year here, right? And I'm just so glad that it's still translated, even though we're in like COVID times, that like the GSRC is transformative. Like that's really great. Um, and I'm glad you like kind of speak about this kind of like legacy thing because the next question is from Molly about looking ahead to the summer. You see that segue? I should start a podcast. What are you looking forward to this summer, Molly?
I'm so thankful to hear everybody's responses to these hard-hitting questions, and I get to answer this one, which is, hard-hitting in a different way. But I think that for work, I'm so excited that we have such rich content to reflect on, but to springboard from. I think that when we were starting the beginning of this year, like we didn't know what was going. We were tired before we started because we were like, how are we going to make this work? As Ari mentioned, Demetria had to kind of totally revamp a whole thing. Ari had to totally revamp the Cultural Sisterhood Summit. Elizabeth didn't know, but was also revamping the Speakers Bureau. Trevin had to revamp like everything that he was doing. So like there was so much that was happening. But this summer, we get to take the amazing legacy that Demetria has left us with Womanist Wednesday, and we have a model for what it could or should be, so that's amazing. And we get to also then continue the work to connect with students and move forward. And I think what I'm excited about too is that as we move to different places of doing more things in the anticipation of being more in person, we can be together and watch that unfold. And so I'm excited to have a really fun summer with the team. I'm excited to look ahead. And probably just personally, I'm excited to like be around some water and some sunshine this summer to kind of get that back.
Yes, all of the things. I also want to be back at some water. Like, I went to South Carolina a couple of months ago, and I've missed the like ocean ever since. So maybe it'll be the ocean. Maybe I'll go to like Chicago soon or something. But I definitely want to be around somebody's water. So now that we've all answered our assigned questions and things like that, this last half is giving everybody space to answer a question that they didn't get to answer. And I guess we can go back in that same order, or if y'all want to popcorn it, it's up to y'all. But I think if it seems like Ari wants to already go, so go right ahead.
Stay ready. You don't have to get ready. When Molly was speaking about being near water, yes, also that, like, I've had my toes out all week, and like that is my favorite thing about the season change. It's just like, yes, I got my nail polished. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling recharged. So I'm definitely looking forward to like being able to like take walks and like maybe have some socially distanced meetings outside and things like that. But as far as what I'm looking forward to over the summer, there's been a lot of new excitement around the Period Project, which is very exciting for me. Like I know Panhellenic Council like made some big donations. They're helping us collect products. Like we've received different like gift cards and donations from faculty and staff all year, which I think is really amazing because with the pandemic, I felt like this was a project that was really going to like suffer. And I was looking at it from like a very negative mind frame for a while. But it's been really amazing to see that people still see the importance of like having period products and like a lot of them and donating them and then being like accessible and being interested in like the education around how we talk about periods and who has them. So I'm really excited this summer to like spend some time like reconnecting with our people who've donated and also like looking for new people to help get like engaged and involved around the project. And as you mentioned, Trevin, like in February, like it was kind of a tough Black History Month, and there's been a lot of other things that have been very tough working in the diversity space. And so this summer, I'm excited to just breathe a bit and focus on some of these projects that like make it all worthwhile, because I feel like the last month especially or two, they have been very heavy. And that's not to say that heavy things still won't exist, but it's just a slower pace in the summer with like not as many students being on campus. So I'm really excited to like really get into some of these projects how I want to. And the Period Project is definitely one that's at the forefront of my mind. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I can go next just because order, I guess. I don't know. I also already had a question that I wanted to answer, and it was what was I most proud of at my work at the GSRC? And although I really love how I one up myself every time with the Pride Mag, I think it has to go to Tea with Trevin. Um, uh, some of us has talked about this before, but like Tea with Trevin kind of got like it was born out of this necessity for like one, me to have another program, but two, like media club couldn't happen anymore, and so it kind of like it couldn't happen because media club is a very like physical space thing. So out of the ashes, Tea with Trevin came. And as I was putting things into the program calendar, I think we have like over like 400 views altogether, which is like insane. That doesn't make sense to me. That 400 people want to look at me speak about things. But you know, I'm a student celebrity, so I have to get used to it. But I'm really proud of being able to put that together and it working so well and it being successful and it just really being like a staple part of our social media now. So I think that's one of the things that I'm most proud of this semester at the GSRC.
You had some amazing guests as well. So, like, I'm not surprised. First of all, you alone, I'm here for that. And we had some great guests from across campus, some who are on the staff. So,
Yes. Yeah.
I can go ahead and go next. So the other question that I wanted to answer was, what was my biggest accomplishment? And I feel like this was another hard one because like a lot of things came to my mind, but I would say being a part of the planning for the Cultural Sisterhood Summit was like one of my biggest like accomplishments, and also getting like the opportunity to present, which Ari totally hold me accountable to. Um, but I faced my fears of presenting by doing that because like I've always, and that was one of my goals that semester was to like present, and I've always had a fear of presenting, and I imposter syndrome. So it was funny that I presented on imposter syndrome, but it was a great experience overall, like being there with Ari to like transition everything and like to kind of help her and support her and just remind her that like she's not in it alone because it is overwhelming to take a whole conference and make it online. Like, and it was at the beginning of the semester too. Like, it was overwhelming and exciting at the same time. So like just to get the opportunity to be a part of that and like to see how it turned out, like I'm still amazed by like how we made it happen and how it turned out. Like, so that's like my biggest accomplishment is being a part of that process.
I think if we're following the order, I'm next. I wanted to answer the same question that Ari had, which was the first one. Something that I learned at the GSRC that was impactful this semester, which again is really hard because I feel like I learned a lot of different things, but it kind of goes along with what Demetra was saying. I realized that sometimes when you're doing a lot of like programming and we're doing a lot of work at the GSRC, we don't necessarily see the impact that it has on faculty and students. And I can also say that I've personally received messages like during a Zoom meeting or afterwards, like an email from people saying like I was really impacted by Speakers Bureau or something you said, and I am now going to use my pronouns at the end of my professional emails and things like that. And so although it's just like a small little message they might send, like that to me is motivation and really inspiring to see that people are like, you know, present and learning things and really impacted. And so to get that feedback, I wanted to share that with you guys because it's always nice to get that feedback like when people are like sharing those things with you, but it's also something that kind of just goes to show that the GSRC is, you know, showing up and really making an impact in the community and in people's lives. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you everybody who's shared. This has been really a fantastic recap too. So I'm kind of stuck between two questions for the last one for me, which is the biggest accomplishment and most proud of for the work. So I'm going to kind of hybrid that one to this one. So I'm really proud that we did a couple of things that we always talk about. Well, we're not going to do the most. We're going to do enough things to do some events and programs, but we don't need to do the most, because also we really all could, individually and then collectively, because we are very passionate. There's so much that we love to talk about, that we want to talk about. You know, like Dimitri, we all want to change the world. We're very passionate. So we didn't do the most, you know, and Trevin's point around, you know, kind of being able to take a pause, like that was all so good, because what we were able to accomplish, we've fulfilled our mission. We were able to bring to campus our expertise. We showed up. Like, we showed up to obviously our events, but across campus in solidarity and support. And that makes me really proud, because, you know, we care, we do this, we also have expertise. And so when I was sort of adding up our semester numbers that we have so far, and I think we're still maybe waiting on a couple ones, probably from me, to put into our count, but we had 38 events this semester between, right. And Trevin mentioned the count that for Tea with Trevin, but we had over 1,100 engagements. Like, whether it be like people attended our kind of virtual live events, or whether it be views, or whether it be likes, but over 1,100, almost 1,200 engagements with what we did. And that's amazing. That's just this semester. So I'm really, really proud of what we put out there. I'm really proud that we didn't overextend ourselves, hopefully too much, given everything that's already happening. And I'm particularly proud and thankful for this team. So thank you all. And we'll get into like our thank yous and mushiness, I'm sure, off vlog. But I'm just particularly proud of this team and what we were able to accomplish collectively.
I'm proud too, and we will definitely get into the mushy stuff when we stop recording. But this was a really great conversation. I've enjoyed hearing about everyone's thoughts and feelings, and it's just been great. And I have enjoyed doing the vlogs this year with you all, well, with Trevin and, you know, now with you all together. And I'm grateful for everyone who watches, and I hope you'll stay connected with us. And thank you so much for choosing to be at home with us at the GSRC.